What's good, Browns family? You ready to dive headfirst into the 2025 season with that fire in your chest? Today, we're zooming in on our offense with a special spotlight on the guy everyone's talking about, Jeudy. Could he be the key to turning things around for our Cleveland Browns in fantasy football and on the field? Grab a beer, sit down with the Dog Pound faithful, and let's break down this red-hot 2025 preview. Let's do this together, because this is Dog Pound, and we don't mess around. Let's keep it real, Browns family. 2024 wasn't exactly a fairy tale for our offense. It was like trying to run with flat tires, right? But hold up, 2025 is rolling in with a whiff of hope in the air. We're in rebuild mode, but we've got pieces that can make some noise. And the name on every Dog Pound fan's lips? Jeudy. This guy's coming into the season as our undisputed WR1, and the energy is through the roof. You feeling that vibe? I know you are, because the Dog Pound never quits. The Browns' offense is getting a serious overhaul. We know the run game is going to be the heart of the strategy, with Kevin Stefanski going back to the formula that worked in 2020. Heavy play action, inside runs, and that physical game that matches Cleveland's cold weather. But Dog Pound, an offense can't live on runs alone, right? The passing game's gotta deliver, and that's where Jeudy comes in hot. You ready to see this guy fly on the field? Because I'm hyped. Let's talk about the man, the myth, the legend. Our WR1, Jeudy. In 2024, this dude was a ray of light in the middle of the storm that was our season. Even with an offense that, let's be honest, was more lost than a dog during a move, Jeudy finished the year as the 14th best wide receiver in PPR fantasy football. That's no small feat, Dog Pound faithful. He racked up 90 receptions, 1,229 yards, and 4 touchdowns, with a crazy average of 10.6 targets per game down the stretch. You following? The guy was catching everything. And get this, his best moments came when Jameis Winston was slinging the ball. They were throwing 43.2 passes per game between Week 6 and 11. That's music to the ears of fantasy players and Browns fans, right? Just imagine, Dog Pound, if we stabilize the quarterback spot in 2025. Can Jeudy repeat or even top those numbers? I'm saying yes, and I bet you're feeling it too. Who's already thinking about drafting Jeudy in fantasy? Raise your hand, Browns family. But hold up, Dog Pound. Let's keep it grounded for a second. The biggest question mark for our offense is, who's going to be QB1? We're in the middle of a 4-way battle for the starting spot, with Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders all in the mix. It's like a reality show, but with less drama and more touchdowns, we hope. Jeudy's already used to this quarterback carousel because in 2024 he played with 4 different QBs and still shined. That's superstar stuff, Dog Pound faithful. Joe Flacco, the comeback player of the year, called Jeudy exciting. And no wonder. The guy's got speed, runs routes like a pro, and has that spark in his eyes that screams greatness. But let's be real, Browns family. If the quarterback doesn't deliver, even Jeudy's gonna struggle. The good news? Our receiving core is thin, with Jeudy and Deontay Johnson as the only guys with more than 50 catches in a season. That means Jeudy's gonna stay the main target no matter who's throwing the ball. You think he can handle the pressure? I'm betting he can. Now, Dog Pound, let's talk about what matters to our fantasy football managers. Jeudy's projected as a WR29 in PPR rankings, meaning you can snag him around the 7th or 8th round. That's like finding a $50 bill in your jeans. But here's the catch. Some analysts are more cautious, ranking him closer to WR40, because our offense is still in that will it or won't it vibe. Truth is, with the quarterback uncertainty, drafting Jeudy is a risk. But it's the kind of risk that could make you the king of your fantasy league. Think about it, Dog Pound faithful. If Jeudy keeps getting 10 targets per game like he did late in 2024, He could easily be a solid WR2 with WR1 potential in big weeks. Remember that game against Denver when he caught 9 of 13 targets for 235 yards and a touchdown? That was like a punch in the face to the haters. Who thinks he can pull off those kinds of performances in 2025? I know the dog pounds with me on this. Another thing we gotta put on the table is our run game. Stefanski's going back to a run-heavy scheme, with our badass rookie Quinshon Judkins coming in to light up the backfield. That's awesome because a strong run game opens up play action. And who benefits? Yup, Jeudy. With defenses focused on stopping Judkins, Jeudy's gonna have more space to shine in the passing game. It's like a free pass for him to wreak havoc, dog pound. But here's the thing. Our offense isn't projected to be a points machine. They're predicting we'll win only about 3 games in 2025, which is kinda depressing, right? But hold on, Browns family. That also means we might see a lot of garbage time. And that's gold for fantasy. When the team's trailing, what happens? The ball's in the air, and Jeudy becomes the guy catching those passes. So even if the scoreboard's not in our favor, Jeudy could save your fantasy team. Who's already thinking about building their roster around him? While Jeudy's the star of the show, we can't forget other guys who could make a difference in our offense. David Njoku, our tight end, is another QB magnet. He and Jeudy will split a lot of targets, which is great for the offense but might cap Jeudy's fantasy ceiling a bit. Cedric Tillman, our WR2, is also on the radar, but he's still a coin toss, could shine or could fade. What do you think, Dog Pound? Will Tillman step up in 2025 or stay in Jeudy's shadow? And in the backfield besides Judkins, we've got Jerome Ford, who's likely to be more of a supporting guy, catching passes and mixing things up. The run game's going to be key to taking pressure off Jeudy and opening the field. You hyped to see how Judkins does? Because I'm stoked to watch that kid run. Back to the quarterback talk, Dog Pound. The chemistry between Jeudy and whoever ends up as QB1 is going to be the X factor. In 2024, Jeudy had his best numbers with Jameis Winston, who was throwing like there was no tomorrow. But now, with 4 guys in the mix, things are tricky. Flacco's got experience and praised Jeudy, but can he handle a full season? Pickett's got potential, but needs to prove it. And the rookies, Gabriel and Sanders, are bets for the future. Who do you think's gonna win the QB1 spot? I'm curious to hear what the Dog Pound faithful think. Jeudy's already shown he can shine despite the QB mess. He's like that friend who shows up to the party and gets everyone dancing no matter the music. But for him to hit the next level, we need a QB who can at least keep the beat. If we figure out that piece of the puzzle, the sky's the limit for our WR1. You confident we'll find that guy in 2025? All right, Dog Pound, let me tell you why Jeudy's a bet worth making, both in fantasy and for our fandom. First, he's in his prime at 26 and just had his best season yet. Second, he's the main man in our receiving corps, so the ball's coming his way. And third, the guy's hungry to prove he's one of the league's best. That's the kind of energy we love in the Dog Pound, right? Even with the quarterback uncertainty, Jeudy's shown he can put up solid numbers. He finished 2024 as the 6th best in receiving yards in the NFL, and that was in an offense that was, let's be nice, challenging. Imagine what he could do with a little more stability. I'm telling you, Browns family, Jeudy's ready to be a game changer, both on the field and in your fantasy lineup. But it's not all sunshine and rainbows, Dog Pound. Betting on Jeudy, whether in fantasy or as a fan, comes with some risk. In the last 3 games of 2024, he had 34 targets but didn't break 100 yards in any of them. That shows that for him to explode, the offense needs some consistency. If our QB1 doesn't deliver or the run game doesn't open things up, Jeudy might end up just average, and nobody wants that, right? We want to see him flying, making defenses cry, and the Dog Pound roaring. On the flip side, the risk comes with a big reward. If Jeudy clicks with one of our QBs, He could easily be a top 15 WR in fantasy, maybe even top 10. And on the field, he could be the guy who carries our offense and gives the dog pound faithful hope. You ready to cheer him on with everything you've got? Because I know the dog pound's energy will make a difference. Looking ahead, Brown's Family 2025 is a year of rebuilding, but also opportunity. Jeudy's the centerpiece of our passing game, and with Stefanski going back to a proven scheme, we've got reasons to believe. The run game with Judkins, backed by Ford, will set the tone, and Jeudy's the guy who'll capitalize on it. Is the dog pound ready to make some noise at Huntington Bank Field and push this team forward? And in fantasy, Jeudy's that guy you grab in the draft and brag to your friends about when he blows up. He's a sleeper with star potential. And who doesn't love that? So dog pound, what's your draft plan? You going all in on Jeudy or playing it safe? Drop it in the comments, because the dog pound faithful always has the best ideas. Before we wrap up, Brown's Family, let me say this. The 2025 season is our chance to show the dog pound never gives up. Jeudy's ready to shine, and we're ready to cheer. So let's lock in for training camp, keep an eye on the QB battle, and of course build that killer fantasy team. Who you thinking about drafting alongside Jeudy? Njoku? Judkins? Spill it, dog pound, because we want to know. And don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss a thing about the Browns. The season's coming, and the dog pound faithful is more united than ever. Let's make 2025 a year to remember, with Jeudy leading the way and the dog pound barking loud. Go Browns!